I want to talk about these pardons and commutations that Biden did. So, wow. So you guys know President Biden is commuting the sentences of nearly 1,500 people, and he's pardoned 39 others in the largest single day act of clemency in modern history. The White House announced last Thursday the amnesty will be extended to roughly 1,500 people who were placed on home confinement during the COVID pandemic and 39 others who were convicted of nonviolent crimes, especially drug crimes, who have shown successful rehabilitation, end quote, according to the White House press release. Biden said in a statement he would take more steps in the weeks ahead. So he's not done, folks, and continue to review clemency petitions to advance, quote, equal justice under the law, promote public safety, support rehabilitation and reentry, and provide meaningful second chances, end quote. So let's talk about these pardons. And this is important for us to actually make sure we're aware of what he's doing. Because some of the people that he's commuted, some of the people that he's pardoned, they were actually in on some pretty serious stuff. So I want to ask you, I will start with you, Shelley. Is there anyone you feel like needs to still be pardoned?
Yes. Me. I mean, I wish he would just pardon me when I think I stole some gum. I was about 11 years old. Stayed out late, whatever. I sped on the highways, probably threw some litter out the car window. And I want him to pardon me for those things. And I want him to pardon me for about 20 years into the future for things I'm going to do. So I think he should have pardoned me.
Yeah.
I have a list of people that I'm sure he's not going to pardon. I don't think they're going to register. But all of the people convicted under the FACE Act, all of those people should be pardoned. Not one crack user between them. Nobody's using any booger sugar. All of these are people who are standing up for what they believe in, who are fighting for the right to life, who now find themselves, felons. Beverly Beatty Williams.
Yep.
She's still in federal prison. I sent her a letter the other day. I realized that you can't send her any kind of packages. You can't send her like a Christmas gift. I can't even send her a postcard. I had to sit there and type out a letter to send to her. And I know quite a few of my friends are writing to her too. But if you're looking for people to pardon when the law gets it wrong, when the legislature gets it wrong, those are the people you look at, not just your friends. And not in the perpetuity.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's an abuse of power.
It certainly is. And, he's done a lot of these commutations. And I want to make sure people know the difference between a pardon and a commutation of sentence. So a commutation of a sentence reduces a sentence either totally or partially that is being served, but it does not change the fact of the conviction, imply innocence, or remove civil disabilities that apply to the convicted person. Additionally, a commutation of sentence may include the lifting of any financial obligations that are imposed as part of a sentence, such as a fine or restitution. It has no effect on a person's immigration status and will not prevent removal or deportation from the U.S. So a pardon is different. That clears it all. So a pardon basically is an expression of the president's forgiveness. They are often granted in recognition of the applicant's acceptance of responsibility for the crime and established good conduct for a significant period of time after conviction or completion of a sentence. So while a pardon does not signify innocence, it does remove civil disabilities, such as restrictions to the right to vote, hold state or local office, or sit on a jury, imposed because of the conviction for which pardon is sought, and should lessen the stigma arising from the conviction. In some circumstances, a pardon will eliminate the legal basis for removal or deportation from the U.S. So the pardon is like it never happened.
Yeah, it's a get out of jail free card for real, right? Yeah. The thing to again allow you to own a firearm legally. It's like it never happened. It's like a gigantic magic eraser.
Now, is there anyone that you guys feel, I have a couple here, that you feel who were either pardoned or commuted that you feel like was controversial, it shouldn't have happened?
Again, I think Biden's not really driving the truck at this moment. Right. You know what I mean? I think his team saw this as a chance to kind of further their agenda, to pay off some friendettes.
Oh,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the major ones that I saw was Mira Sachdeva. Now, remember when Biden first got into office and he said that he was going to cure cancer?
Yeah.
Remember that?
I do.
He just commuted a sentence of this person, a Mississippi oncologist, convicted of administering diluted chemotherapy treatments to patients while billing for full doses, resulting in substantial health insurance fraud. Her clemency contrasts sharply with what he said about cancer.
Yeah.
I mean, this is crazy. I mean, the people that he pardoned: Jim Carlson, a synthetic drug dealer whose actions contributed to public health crisis related to substance abuse. The Star Tribune reports Jim Carlson, a head shop owner, found guilty in 2013 on dozens of felony charges after experts said he sold enough synthetic drugs to cause a public health crisis in Duluth, and his sentence commuted on Thursday as of one of the nearly 1,500 convicted criminals.
Right. Yeah, again, not all, many of these people, many of them, I think an overwhelming majority were prosecuted on drug crimes or even some felony crimes, but they had to serve time for drugs. So again, these are the same policies that Biden pushed when he was back in the 80s, 90s, right. All these drug
super predator days,
right? The same kind of policies and laws that he pushed that the Al Sharptons used to rail against, and the Jesse Jackson. But now, he's the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah, I mean, it's a farce. Again, does he have the right to pardon? Absolutely, from a constitutional perspective. But these were nothing but political paybacks, and they still lost this last election.
Yeah,
Biden he's not making the decisions. You're right, Nicole.
Yeah, he's not making the decisions. But for me, KJ, it was Judge Conahan.
Oh, okay.
That was the problem for me. That, I'm originally from Pennsylvania. Okay. And that this particular judge,
Kids for Cash, right?
Kids for Cash, had no problem locking up children. And fattening his pockets.
Right.
Anybody who had any sense of what this was really about knows that he got the slap on the wrist in the first place. Because I think he got 16, 17 years sentence. He should have gotten at least 30 years. Wow. He should have gotten 25 years for every child's life that he put up roadblocks and impediments in. He should have been made to pay with the rest of his days for what he did to these children.
And Nicole's talking about he got kicked. It was a scandal in Pennsylvania where he accepted kickbacks for sentencing juveniles to for-profit detention centers. His actions led to wrongful incarcerations and have been widely condemned. Biden let him off. Yeah, he commuted his sentence.
Yeah, and the pushback from the White House was like, well, he was almost at the end of his sentence. No. He was already gifted a short sentence. Right. Even Governor Shapiro was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell? When there's someone who preys on the weakest among us, we have to stand up as a community and say, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You know something, man? You ain't nothing but a no good phony hustler. What are you talking about? Mr. Anderson, can you read Braille? Of course. Good. What do this say?
How'd you know my phone call was fake?
The phone is disconnected. You lie, you cheat, you steal. You're a disgrace to blind people. In fact, you're a disgrace to all people.
You through, Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Then let me tell you something. Blind people are just like everybody else. You take the good with the bad. So long, brothers.
But they love the kids.
Oh, please. Yeah. They also let free the brother of a former Hamas political wing chairman, Khaled Mashal, was unexpectedly released from U.S. prison. This guy, he was released after serving 16 years and will spend 1 year in rehabilitation facility. So, I mean,
to pardon this many people, I think, particularly in one session on your way out, it makes it a farce. it makes it a farce that this particular system of the pardoning, the clemency system, is not being used judiciously. It's not being used in the sense that it should be used for people who may be, remorseful, who've served their time, who were prosecuted excessively for some minor charge. This makes it a farce. It certainly does have the appearance of kickbacks and quid pro quo. This is what makes me upset about it. And many of these people, if they were at the end of their sentence, then why not let them finish it if that's the case? Because they were not wrongfully convicted.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. When you think of pardons and commutations, you want to think of someone being very sober in their deliberations, looking at all the facts. But when you take a look at the bigger picture of whose sentences were commuted and people who were pardoned, it's a checklist of political people. It's a checklist of political people.
I think going into politics is the best thing you ever did.
Oh, you do?
Boy, I can hardly wait.
Why?
Because after you get elected, we'll be getting all kinds of presents.
Well, Harold seems to think that if I'm in politics, we'll be getting all kinds of gifts, and I was about to tell him it wouldn't be that way at all.
Well, why not? I mean, gee, it seems like such a good idea to get things for nothing.
Now, you listen to me, son. Nobody gets anything in this world for nothing.
This has been the Biden crime family's MO from the very beginning. They have been getting kickbacks from everywhere, from China, from Ukraine, from Russia, even from people within the United States. This has been they have been in public office for most of their lives. They have gotten rich off of it, and it has all been through this type of stuff. And I personally believe that what they did was he wanted to do so many people at once that people were not going to take the time to actually look at the sentences and the issues and the stories behind these people that were pardoned and commuted. And he's gotten more. I mean, do you all believe that he's going to pardon Liz Cheney and the rest of them?
I don't put it past them. I'll say that.
I don't think Liz will take it though.
Oh, please.
I don't think
Why?
I don't think she'll take it.
Why?
Because she believes her own hype. She truly believes that she's a political powerhouse.
She does, but I think she would take that pardon in a heartbeat, because in that sense, it would give her more, more impetus or incentive to keep spouting the lies that she says about Trump with impunity.
Well, there's no impunity because he can go after her civilly, like he did.
If Biden pardons her for future, like he did Hunter,
he can pardon for criminal, but not for civil. And this is what Trump has strategically done. The people are like, oh, he's going to lock people up. No. He's hitting rich people in the place that hurts them the most, in the bank account. George Stephanopoulos' little tiny self. And I don't mean that in stature, although he's a short person. I mean that in personality and the way that behaves. Called Trump a rapist. Over and over again, talking to Nancy Mace, who was, a victim of rape. And she's like, why are you pressing me so hard? It was a very aggressive interview. And if you guys know anything about politics, you know who George Stephanopoulos is. He was Bill Clinton's right-hand man.
Yes.
You don't want to talk about sexual assault and William Jefferson Clinton in the same sentence.
Not with George Stephanopoulos, because he came after those women who accused Bill Clinton of rape, sexual assault. Not to mention that Bill Clinton admitted, particularly with Monica Lewinsky. But but this whole pardon system, at least the way Joe Biden has done it, and I know other presidents have done it, and they will do it. And I think other presidents it was political things as well. But the system itself has become abused.